Hello, friends, and happy, I don't know what day of the week it is. It's Thursday. Happy Thursday to you all. I am not positive that anybody will jump on and join me, and that's not overly important. I've been saying that I was going to do this since last night, and I finally needed to just settle down and get it done because today is the 1st of July. And if you follow me in my personal spaces, you know that I made a commitment in the month of June to go on a personal financial fast. So I wanted to just pop on real quickly and share how that went. And I'm doing this before I go out onto Amazon. I'm sure my sister TK is going to be on at some point, even if it's a replay. So TK, as soon as this video is over, me and these lashes that I found them, but they're done. Like if you study very closely, they're done. And I deserve these magnetic lashes that I could not buy in the month of June. So let me explain. Hi, Sister Sandra. Hi, Ruby D. So people kept asking me, what was this financial fast and who told me to do it and all this? Nobody told me to do it. I was just looking at, so I want to just kind of back up. I am a person who is very aware of my finances. There are just ways that I appreciate being able to move and to live. So I'm always careful. Like I don't buy into, oh, God's going to make you a millionaire. Probably not. But I do believe that we can be amazing stewards over what he gives us. And so my prayer has never, ever been, God, make me rich. Never prayed that prayer before. I know I learned this from Pastor Kenneth Davis years ago, and it stuck with me. And it's been my prayer for 20 years. God, give me total provision and continuous supply. That everything that I need, when I need it, is there. And that there is never a time that you are not providing for me. So that's my prayer. It's how I live. It's how he allows me to do what I do. Now, that said, I also feel like I have a responsibility for how I manage what God gives me, like that I'm in control of what I do. And so I listened to, even though I teased TK, she did a really nice piece on Monday night on her Facebook page, which if you're not following her, look for Working the Dash. She does a thing on Monday nights called The Mailbox. And one of the things I remember she said, and it stuck with me, was that you don't have a money problem. Basically, you have like a management problem. And so I don't consider myself having a problem per se, but I knew that my behaviors were problematic. What behaviors am I talking about? I will be honest, in the pandemic, it started off sort of altruistically, when they would show like deals and steals on Good Morning America, and there were Black-owned businesses. And if you know me, I am a huge supporter of Black-owned businesses, even when I get frustrated with us sometimes, and I do, but I try to do my part. And I'm a huge fan of women-owned businesses. So I was out here girl bossing in Black-owned business, and I bought everything, and they were good products. If you have not tried Symphony chips, and they're not paying me to say this, because I actually have only supported them once, but I learned about them on Good Morning America, a Black-owned chip business, I think out of Atlanta. What? So, and I don't even eat potato chips. Like, I got some vices. Like, you might put a chocolate chip cookie next to me and I might have an issue. But potato chips, that's not even my issue. But hey, Sister Melissa, I'm glad you made it on. I'm not even doing Bible study today. I'm talking money stuff, but I'm glad you're here. So yeah, but I supported them. I'm just calling names today, y'all. None of these are endorsements. These people are not paying me. But again, I was just happy to support, and I'll get back on task. But there's a company called Infusion Blends, I believe it is. Young Black woman she's outside of Atlanta. Y'all, she is blending some butter out there that it'll make your head spin. Like, she's got butter in all kinds of flavors. Why was I ordering butter like a maniac? Y'all know I started buying Cool Coffee Click coffee. That's one of my vices. I buy tea online from the Lewis Tea Company. Y'all see where the problem is. And that wasn't even all of it. Again, it was altruistic, but then one of my friends, I'll call her name later, but I'll give it to you in the positive light. But she added me to this group on Facebook. I think it's called Thrifty Babes. I think that's the name of it. Thrifty Babes. I was in Thrifty Babes. What do? They do nothing but share these Amazon deals all day long. I was buying on stuff on Amazon. I can't even tell you why I needed it. Sister Jeanette, they do have lashes out there sometimes. And the truth is that before I buy these lashes today, I'm going to look for a deal in the Thrifty Babes group. But I was buying stuff for no reason. None at all. I bought a balloon arch saying, one day, we might have a shower or something. And I do have a goddaughter getting married, but her fiance hadn't even proposed to her when I bought the balloon arch, you see? So I don't need a balloon arch. And I was doing stuff like that. So I am confessing. I'm confessing in front of y'all. And not only was I over here with Amazon showing up at my door like a minimum of 5 times a week. And I can't even tell you everything I bought. Not only was Amazon here, Uber Eats. I was like, it's just $18. Oh, Black-owned businesses, they were doing free. In fact, they still are doing free, like no service fee, I think it is, if you buy from a Black-owned restaurant. So I had all of these justifications as to why I was in this. So the bottom line is I allowed myself into a space of bad behavior. And let me just tell you, I believe that God looks at that stuff. If he is going to take the time to take care of you and give you what you need and make sure our needs are met, then again, I had a responsibility to make sure that I was being more aware. So that's what the financial fast was about. And if you Google financial fast, you'll see a lot of people who've done it. In fact, I think the initial person did like a 21-day financial fast, and that's what they're known for. I did it the whole month. I think you can make a decision if you choose to do it. You make a decision for what works for you and the behaviors that you need to figure out and that you need to get under control. I actually had a flyer, and many of you saw it on my pages. And I want to talk through each of these things, and I'll try not to be too long. And then I want to tell you what that ended up meaning for me at the end of the month, which was yesterday. So here were the things that I would continue to do, because a financial fast does not mean that you become a hermit. It doesn't mean that you can't do anything. It's just about that unnecessary spending. It is about credit card spending. And it really is about making sure that you're using money in ways that are wise. So I said I would still pay my tithe, because I do believe that God honors that. I love what my pastor says, that you can do more with a blessed 90 than you can a cursed 100. And so I believe in paying my tithe. This was a commitment. I will choose to go without spending on anything other than necessities. And a necessity was just that. So yes, I went to the grocery store. That was a necessity. The lashes, as much as I was trying to argue that they were a necessity, they are not a necessity. I know that my hands are moving a lot, and I'm just grateful that my nails are, oopsie, you probably saw that. I am grateful that my nails are white, because that is camouflaging just a bit of how terrible these nails are. But that was not a necessity. My friend TK said, go get some press-ons at Walgreens. Not doing that, but it is the month of, and nothing's wrong with press-ons. They brought me through the pandemic. I'm not going to shade the press-ons, not doing that. I just wasn't going to go and get any and put them on. So necessities I did still get. That I would reevaluate my spending habits. And I just talked to you about a little some of that I would reevaluate that kind of frivolous stuff that I was doing. Hello, little birdie. That I would maximize frugal living tips, including creating meals from my current pantry and freezer. And I want to talk about that for a second, because like a year ago, in the last year especially, like many of you, found myself into this space of not knowing what would be next. And so I wasn't stockpiling, but for a single household, the stock is pretty generous. So I have, my regular refrigerator and freezer in the kitchen, the little combo thing. And then in the garage, there's a whole nother freestanding freezer out there. And so I was like, you know what? All this eating out and calling Uber Eats and all of this stuff was not necessary. So when I talk about the frugal living tips, I didn't go to the grocery store a lot. I literally made it my business to figure out what can you find in that refrigerator and what can you find in that pantry. And let me just be honest, they weren't always sexy meals. I mean, one night I had breakfast for dinner. Last night I told my friends, I was like, I had such a long day. You know, I had meetings, and then our church convention is going on, and I had my first trustee board orientation for Rusk College last night, and it was just a long day. And I was like, oh, I could have just called and ordered something. My friends were like, it is June 30th, and you need to go figure out what you can do in the kitchen. So I went in there, I looked in the pantry, I went out to the garage. And then I was like, oh, so I found this beef sausage in the garage. I had red beans in the pantry. There was rice. I had cornbread. And y'all know where this is going. Last night was a red beans and rice kind of night. So I'm not proud because, you know, it's not, what can I say? Like, should I eat the rice? That's probably not something that needs to be in my diet. But I stuck to that rule. So, you know, going forward, I would try to buy less carbs when I do need to restock. But again, I was able to make meals like that. And even tonight, whereas I had big plans, I was going to order my lashes and have shrimp tonight. No, I'm not. It's July 1st, and I'm going to eat the rest of the red beans and rice that are in the refrigerator. And that's just what we're going to do. So again, it wasn't always sexy. One night I found this, I had shrimp and I had pasta. That's a bird outside my window. I took some pasta. There go those carbs again. And I had whatever I needed. And I made like these curry noodles and shrimp. Again, I didn't always know what I was going to make, but I was committed to making sure that I was eating at home and using those tips. The other thing, and I thank my friend Jamie for this, because I'm a picky eater. Let me start there. I like what I like. And when I have a taste for something, I may go and get it and I may eat it. And then that would be the end of it. And she was like, you better learn to freeze that stuff. So whether it was I had some, what do you call them? Tortilla shells. I've never frozen tortilla shells, but guess what? They come out beautifully when you get ready to use them again. They absolutely do. So whether I made breakfast tortillas. Sometimes one night on Taco Tuesday, I actually had ground chicken in the freezer. So I made like this little burrito situation. The other thing that I never thought of before, and Jay Woods, where do I order my magnetic lashes? Amazon, where TK didn't want me to shop. On Amazon. I'm not loyal to any particular brand. This was my first set of magnetic lashes. Now I'm going to go back and see if I can order these exact same ones because I liked them. But again, in that little Thrifty Babes group, they were posting codes where you get like sets of 10 for like $7 or $8 or something. So I'm going to look out there because I will look for a deal, but Amazon is my place. So yes, freeze. Oh, you do the same thing, Ruby D. Well, I'm better with the freezer. And here was something else that I never did it before. I never thought about it. Y'all can be like, Waynell, this is not rocket science. No, but I don't drink milk. I don't like milk. I realize that milk is necessary for cooking, but like a glass of milk, no, negative. So I don't know what I bought this milk for. I buy 2% milk. And normally it would go to waste after I cook whatever I'm going to cook. My friend was like, you can freeze that. So I took Ziploc bags, actually the little snack size bag, and a measuring cup. And I literally measured out a cup of milk. And I know this sounds crazy, but I just poured it into the snack bag, sealed the snack bag, and put them in like this little container so that they were all sitting up. But literally in the freezer now, in the garage, are these little bags of milk. And each one of them is 1 cup. So last night, when I did the red beans and rice, and I told you I made cornbread, I grabbed one of the bags of milk out. I let it thaw in some water for, 20 minutes. That's how I made the cornbread. So I didn't throw away milk. And I know that may not seem like a big deal, but again, learning not to throw away everything and just kind of take things for granted, I wanted to make sure that I was working on this. So those are those kind of frugal things. Thank you, Sister Sandra. I am proud that I stuck to it. How can we get to Thrifty Babes, Sister Jeanette? I would say that you can just type in Thrifty Babes, but if you don't see Thrifty Babes, send me an inbox to my personal Facebook page, and then I will try to go back in and like send the invite to you, however that works. I'll go back and look. I promise I will. Yeah, Sister Cynthia, I cannot get down with milk. I just can't. God bless everybody who likes your milk and cookies and milk. I can't. What else did I say I would do? Oh, that I would set a budget and use a cash-only envelope system. So honestly, I wasn't as great with the doing that exactly like I said, but the intent of it was there. And let me tell you what I mean. So first of all, I need to tell you that I did travel for 10 days in the month of June. So I know you're like, well, how did you not spend money when you were traveling? That's a whole story. So let me take you through a couple of little quick tips while I was traveling. Number one, all of my travel was prepaid before June. So this was planned travel. Two things were business, and one was just 3 days that I had on my calendar as a business retreat. I do believe, even if you're an entrepreneur, we did this when I worked in corporate America. Make sure you're taking time to look at your business plan, where you're going. And I did that. But everything was prepaid. I drove, so that gave me a lot of flexibility to do what I did. So I took my own case of water. I took my own, whatever it is I drink, I took them. I took my bag of almonds with me. I took my own fresh produce to have snacks in the room. What else did I do? I chose a bed and breakfast in one location. My next location had breakfast available in my rate. That was another way that I was able to save money on a meal. And then, like I said, I had my own little snack. So I was really only looking at dealing with one meal a day. So that wasn't too bad. I'm trying to think. And let me know if you have any questions on anything that I did, or especially like when I was traveling, how I did certain things. You like milk in the form of ice cream. So I do too, Sister Sandra. I do like ice cream. And thank you, Sister Danette. You should try it. The worst thing that you do is that you don't, quite complete it. But what it will do is honestly just make you more aware. In fact, I posted on my Facebook page my one day that I slipped up, and I'm not even gonna say like I slipped. I just didn't do it. It was on Juneteenth. And I wanted to support Black businesses. And this is the behavior that got me here in the first place, right? But anyway, I did that, and I did that, and I talked about it publicly. I wasn't trying to keep it a secret. I did that. The other thing about cash is, and I didn't think about this because I was traveling, but one of my friends reminded me, and I haven't seen this in months, but at some point during the pandemic, there were, stores and things that were saying that they preferred no cash usage. So when I told you I found a way to work the spirit of it, I had a budget established for that. And it was in my personal Cash App account. And when I got ready to travel, I transferred that amount to my debit card. And that was all that I had for while I was traveling. That was it. No more, not going anywhere else. And I can talk to y'all more if you're ever interested in how I sort of work out. I'll tell you now, like in my personal finances, I have 3 accounts. One of them is my savings account. One of them is an account that we just don't talk about. I pretend that it doesn't even exist, and I would only use that account in an emergency. And whatever is left over, that becomes my savings. All of that, again, my spending money. All of that after I have done my tithe. So there's my tithe. There's the savings account that we talk about. There's the secret savings account that we don't talk about. And then there is my actual household money, which again, able to pay the bills, do what needs to be done. And then the rest is what it's mine because I've been intentional in saving. All right. That I would set a weekly savings goal, and I did that. So every Friday I would transfer a certain dollar amount to myself. And I did that every single Friday. That's what I did. Just moved it to my savings account. Just what we did. Another thing that I did, and I have this video titled "How I Saved $500 in a Month." I honestly, the stuff that I would have been tempted to buy, the things that I was like, "Ooh, I should buy that." My call it a fun penalty. I know penalties are not fun, but if you were prepared to buy it on this day, then you're prepared to move it into your savings account. And that's what I did. And so there was one particular pair of shoes. If I was prepared to hit the button that day and buy it, then I was prepared to put that money up. One other thing that TK said is just because you think you want something doesn't mean that you have to have it now. So those shoes, and y'all, like right now, my heart is racing thinking about these shoes, but I did not get them. Little birdie, it's a blessing to have food and grateful for what we have. Absolutely. So that's how I saved the extra. It was the moving the money into my savings account and sort of that penalty flag on myself that if I wanted to buy it, I just moved it into my account. At the end of the month, I was probably between those two efforts, I was in the mid 400s. And so I made an election just to say I wanted it to be $500. So last night I moved the rest of it just to say that I saved an extra $500. So again, I think there are small things that some of us do from time to time. And it may not be $500. What if you put up an extra $50 a month? What if you put up an extra $100 a month, just by making those sort of small adjustments? And I said I would be accountable to others who chose to join me. So that was why I posted a bit, even in my social spaces. And of course, I've talked about the things that I was not going to do. So I did not have Amazon stopping at my door. You can look at my Amazon account. Not one time were they at my front door. That I would not, and here's another bad behavior for me, that I would not make purchases using PayPal, treating it as invisible money. I've gotten to be a lazy consumer. If they don't have PayPal on the account, there's a lot of folks who lose my business because I like the ease of it. And I realize that that's like kids. Our kids are always saying, can we just buy this? And you're like, money doesn't grow on trees. And we say that to kids, and yet PayPal is the adult version of money doesn't grow on trees. Like it's coming from somewhere. So kind of all those automated systems that make things a little bit too accessible to me is kind of that money doesn't grow on trees behavior. So I wanted to watch that. And this was the last one. It was big, but not opening solicitations from my favorite vendors, the people that I love to shop with, and they know who they are. I'm just telling y'all all month long, when I saw your little goodies come up and all your little sales and all the yummy things that you wanted me to look at, I was just swiping left and deleting, because I know you are temptation to me, and I can't help it when I see the pretty things that pop up. So that's how that pair of shoes situation happened, because I broke a rule one day. It was a Sunday. I broke a rule on the Lord's Day. And when I saw those shoes, I had to pay the piper, because I was like, oh, because then I text my friend Tammy, and I was like, did you see these shoes? And then Tammy responded back, did you see the camo cross body bag? Oh, so that's how it happens. And again, I just think that all of us in some way take it and throw it into the trash. Thank you, Sister Nichols. I appreciate you not leaving me out here by myself. Little birdie, I will not. I like almond milk, like in smoothies, but still, like, I'm a texture person. Like, I don't know. I have issues with certain food textures, and I don't know what that's about, but it's just even talking about it, like the idea of milk and me drinking any version. I can't. I know milk, but I do, if I'm going to make smoothies at home, I do use almond milk as one of my bases, or coconut water. I like both of those. But just have a nice tall glass of milk and cookies. Don't ever leave me milk and cookies. So I think that was really all that I did in the financial fast, and I was able again to travel and be successful. As a celebration, as I said, when I get off of this live, I will be ordering my magnetic lashes from Amazon. I've been talking about that for a few days. But that big shrimp dinner that I had planned, like I said, we're going to eat these red beans and rice. And here's the other thing, like, honestly, I don't feel a push to go out and make up for everything that I missed in the last 30 days. Like, it just wasn't that serious. And I realized at the end of the day that I'm not missing all that much. And I got a whole lot more food in that pantry to go. So we're going to have a few more made up meals in the month of July. Just a few, because July is a holy month. In case you didn't know, the most wonderful people in the world came into being in the month of July. So, here's the thing though. And let me tell you about July. Here's some more savings for this month. My coupons started arriving last night. Those little birthday coupons, and I intend to use every free coupon they send me. I get on everybody's list. I don't want your deals and specials, but I do want my birthday coupon. So yeah, I don't know. I think I saw my free quesadillas show up last night, and I don't know what else, but whatever these free meals are, I'm showing up. And guess what? I'm not even ashamed. I know that their goal is for me to come in. Oh, you get a free dessert. Come in. No, I'm going to come in. I'm going to show you my phone, and I'm going to get my free dessert. I'm not buying anything else. I'm that customer, which I know drives them nuts. But anyway, that's that. So thank y'all for encouraging me, hanging in here. And you have to learn how to pay ourselves after the tithe, essential things. Wow. You moved $850 in 1 week to your savings account. That is so bomb. That is awesome. yeah, leaving a little bit for your miscellaneous budget. I understand that. So again, I just think we can all do these small things to get the wins that we want to have. And again, God can bless us to have the lives that we want to have. He blesses me, and I guess I talk about this quite a bit as a single female. Y'all know what I say: when the water is troubled, I have no man to throw me in. So that just means that when TXU and Atmos Energy and City of Dallas all want their money, I don't have anybody helping over here. So I try to make sure that I am, again, doing the right things. That's all this was really about. Nothing more, nothing else too deep. And it's July, so we're going to enjoy the month. So that's it. Y'all have a great rest of your evening. And y'all know that I will see you tomorrow for Lunchtime Live. And we'll talk about gratitude, which is now, by the way, that's my theme of the month. I am not done focusing on finances, but the financial fast is over. And in the month of July, you'll see me spending a lot of time just in the space of gratitude and being grateful. So y'all have a good rest of your night. I'll see you tomorrow at Lunchtime Live. Take care. Bye.